a blissful Sunday. If you are someone like me who has a regular 9 to 5 job and you're not able to keep abreast with the events going across every Sunday, in the morning we'll go through the events across the world, and let's see what sense does it make, what else is going across the world that you're supposed to know, and you might have missed it. While you were busy in your day-to-day life, doing your regular chores, your family duties and whatnot. We'll start off with a very interesting post that Elon Musk put up on a platform that he owns, that is X, and teach people to hate themselves and their history, and they are defenseless against mind viruses. They can be reprogrammed with ease. What he's trying to imply, or what he's trying to say is, if you somehow manage to put out this narrative, and that narrative translates to hating yourself and hating your own history, then the people of that nation are defenseless against mind viruses. When he says mind viruses, I think he means by the misinformation, the amount of misinformation going around on social media and all the other platforms. So if you teach someone false history, if you teach them to hate their own history, to hate themselves, they are defenseless against mind viruses, and you can reprogram them. And I did not say much about this because we all know what we have been taught about the history of our country by NCRT, by all the liberal writers. There is this page of BRICS, that is Brazil, Russia, India, China and South Africa. It's a group of all these countries that have come together to achieve certain set of collective goals. And now there are also some other countries, most recently Cuba is the one who has expressed willingness to join BRICS. And so now Russia is the largest non-Islamic country providing aid to Palestine. So Russia has been providing aid to Palestine, and from humanitarian standpoint, I would say yes, it's a very noble cause that Russia is espousing. Benjamin Netanyahu, for those of you who don't know, he is the Prime Minister of Israel. He is supposed to be a far right. He is supposed to be far right on the political spectrum, and with the current unrest and conflict going on between Gaza, between Hamas and Israel, he has put out a live interview, and in that live interview he says that there wouldn't be any elections anytime soon in Israel, so he is going to continue as the Prime Minister. The IDF, that is the Israel Defense Forces, they will continue to operate and even neutralize hostile positions in Rafah. So Rafah is an area where continuing hostilities have led to a lot of unrest, and he has said that the IDF and by that extension Israel will not stop until there is a total victory. Recently there is this video doing rounds on X about a Formula 1, or rather a Formula 4, I don't know what the difference is, but some Formula race going on in Kashmir, which is like good to see, because every time you see something about Kashmir in the headlines, it's either about snowfall or about some unrest going on and some terrorist is being neutralized by the armed forces. So it's really refreshing to know that things are moving further along in Kashmir. Rasmalai. Rasmalai is a traditional Indian sweet, and it has been ranked second best cheese dessert in the world. So the next time you are craving something sweet and you go to have something that has cheese in it, usually my favorite is cheesecake, but I think you should try rasmalai. Next up is Vladimir Putin. Everyone knows who he is. He needs no introduction. And very recently there were these elections that were held in Russia, and no surprises for guessing who won that election. Obviously, it was Vladimir Putin who won that election, and I guess this is he won this election by a record margin. So that really shows his popularity among Russians. Now, if you compare this with how Putin is being portrayed by the media houses, there will be a stark difference between what the media leads you on to believe and what the people of Russia are thinking. I mean, if he were really that evil, and if he were really that anti-democratic as the global media houses paint him to be, then he wouldn't win back-to-back elections and with such landslide victory. So in the end, it is the people of a country that decide. Time and energy has been wasted to lead you to believe that there's a war going on in Russia, there's a war going on in Ukraine, and the major aggressor in that war is Russia. And obviously Russia is, up to a certain degree, to be held accountable for what is going on in Ukraine, but you cannot deny that there have been some blatant provocations from the other side. So if you think logically, in a conflict, if you are constantly provocated by a third party and you are constantly pushed to protect your own national interests, so you end up taking an aggressive action. That is exactly what Russia did. And now, agreed that it is reeling under the circumstances of sanctions from the West, and even though there is also some argument to be made that are the sanctions that were imposed by the West on Russia, are they really helpful? Have they really achieved something? But that is besides the point. The point is, even after taking such a hit, even after such military campaigns by Russia coming at a large economic cost, if Russia is still moving ahead with it, then you are led to think that there is some substance, there is some degree of truth. There is some degree of truth on the side of Russia. Now, interestingly, I came across this post on X, wherein China has issued a public statement saying that they are prepared to intervene militarily if United States or NATO attacks Russia. I don't know if this statement holds any water, because I don't know. I think China is all empty threats. France is advocating sending NATO troops to Ukraine. And this will only lead to a further flare-up of conflicts on the hostile areas on the Ukraine-Russia border. And all the other NATO countries, however, are not in favor of sending more troops or more troops to the conflict region. But France has been an adamant advocate of sending troops over there, partly because the president, that is Emmanuel Macron, he has some twisted theories about what exactly is going on there. And alright, so the talk of the town, the controversy, that is Citizenship Amendment Act, CAA. So the central government has responded to the to the questions by the Supreme Court and regarding the residents of illegal migrants named Rohingyas, and they have said that the rights of the citizens supersede the rights of the illegal migrants. And I guess that makes sense because if you're living in a country, your resources are you are entitled to use those resources first for the welfare of the natives, and then if there is some surplus left, then and only then you should think about how to help others. And the central government's policy is in line with that principle, but I guess there are many other Islamic countries. They have an entire OIC, that is Organization of Islamic Countries. So I'm surprised why none of them are coming forward to their help, and why it is always the big brother in South Asia who is, held up to that altar of the CAA, that is Citizenship Amendment Act, would really help in further consolidating this position that we are a country who welcomes everyone with open arms, but now we have also grown conscious about the fact that our tendency to show hospitality to others and welcoming others with open arms, it is being taken for granted by many of the countries, and it cannot continue to be so. Yes, so the Prime Minister of Ireland, that is Leo Varadkar, he has resigned abruptly. Now, my first thought initially was that this name, it sounds a little bit desi, which led me to find out who exactly is he, and my research yielded the result that he had a Hindu father, Leo Varadkar. His father was born in Bombay, that is now Mumbai, and he went to UK to work as a doctor. And next up is ISRO, the National Space Research Organization. It has successfully tested the reusable launch vehicle, that is RLW. Now, for those of you who don't know who RLV is, as the name itself suggests, something that you can use again. Now, space industry is a very time-consuming and money-consuming venture. So, a lot of instruments that are used in all these space activities, they are manufactured after spending a lot of capital, a lot of money. So, having a reusable launch vehicle helps. It saves time and money. Next, there is another video. I'll not say anything about it, but this is in relation with the sitting Chief Minister of Delhi getting arrested.
तब देश पूछता था कि पावरफुल लोगों पर ईडी, सीबीआई जैसी एजेंसियां एक्शन क्यों नहीं लेती, ये सवाल पूछा जाता था।
सर, मैं आपको कह रहा हूं, हमारी पार्टी में जितने चोर हैं सबको जेल डाल दीजिए। आपकी तो सरकार है, आपकी तो सरकार है, आप जेल क्यों नहीं डालते? सबको डालिए ना, मैं आपके साथ खड़ा हूं सर। हमारी पार्टी में जितने चोर हैं सबको जेल में डाल दीजिए आप। मैं आपके साथ खड़ा हूं, मैं कभी उनको प्रोटेक्ट नहीं करूंगा।
आज पावरफुल और भ्रष्ट लोग पूछ रहे हैं कि एजेंसियां उन पर एक्शन क्यों ले रही है।
And something that has happened very recently, and there has to be no two thoughts about calling it what it is. There was a terrorist attack, something similar to what happened on the 26th of November in Mumbai. Something similar to 26/11 Mumbai attacks at the Taj. Something similar happened in Russia, yesterday, and our prayers are with the people who who have lost their lives and their families. They should find strength in these difficult times to cope with the grief of having lost their loved ones. And I'm sure that the concerned authorities will get to the bottom of it, and hopefully we will be informed about who exactly was behind it. The embassies of US and UK, they issued a directive to their citizens who are residing in Moscow to avoid such large gatherings. So I guess a rational mind would question, did they have a prior knowledge or did they not have a prior knowledge? There are no yes and no answers to this, but we'll not know unless there is some concrete evidence put out in the public domain for us to see. Alright, next up is our Prime Minister. He was in Bhutan very recently, and Bhutan is a very old and very strong ally of ours. Acts as a buffer state. It acts as a buffer state between the northeast part of Bharat and China. So if you look at the map of the northeast part of Bharat, something that we call the Chicken's Neck or the Chicken's Corridor, it's a very narrow landmass that connects the northeast part to the mainland part of Bharat, and Bhutan is a state that is between China and that Chicken's Neck or the Chicken Corridor, and yeah, it makes it all the more important why Bhutan is a very interestingly, there was this Gujarati song that was played and that brought out some laughs from the Be sure to subscribe to our channel, and thanks for watching.